Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm going to kind of break down those attachment styles, and then I would love for you guys to leave your questions in the comments and I can kind of dig into things a little bit more. So the next attachment style we're going to talk about is that dismissive avoidant. What does that even mean, right? So that is that person, as I like to say, has walls for days. Not only do they avoid kind of intimacy and relationships, they push them away or dismiss them when they feel that something is getting too close. They're like, no, shut it down, get away. They might start being rude, or they might just kind of become avoidant. Like they might not engage in conversation as much. There's a lot of different things that they might do. So this person is emotionally distant. They are self-sufficient, so they don't think that they need anybody else to do the things they want to do in life. They can get things done. They can be happy on their own. They think, honestly, they think that they don't need anybody else, but that is not true. We are humans. Humans need other people. It is part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We need love, affection, acceptance. We need it. Can we get by without it? Probably, but are we going to be a whole, healthy, happy person? Probably not. So the person who is dismissive, avoidant, they have a really good view of themselves. They think, I'm so great. Like they have a really positive view of themselves and they think that they can do great things. And then they usually have a pretty negative view of everybody else. And the reason for that is to make themselves feel okay about not needing anybody. You know, their justification is kind of like, well, nobody else is going to be as strong emotionally as me. Like nobody else can make me happy. All I need is myself. That's definitely fine to feel like you just need yourself, but if you're in a relationship with somebody who's like this, then that can be really hard for you, because this person is always just like putting out these vibes of I don't need you, I don't need you. And it really doesn't mean that they don't love you and they don't care about you. They put up these walls. That is how their attachment style is set up. They might have a really hard time showing their affection because that's showing weakness. That's showing that they need you, and they're set up in their mind that they don't need anybody. So to start acting like they do, or to start saying too much about how they feel about you, that's going to go against this kind of like setup that they have in their mind about who they are as a person and who they are in this relationship. So one interesting thing about somebody with the dismissive avoidant attachment style is that they can shut it down. They can just lock down those feelings, put them in a little box, throw them away. Like if they feel like something isn't going to work out, a relationship that they really care about, or they care about to whatever extent they're able to, they can literally be like, nope, I'm done. Grab these feelings, put them away, I'm just done. And that's not going to be hard for them. Like, you know, somebody who is preoccupied or even secure, you know, they're going to feel those feelings. They're going to deal with those feelings. But this person, they can put them in a box, give them away. It's fine. I don't need to feel these feelings. I'm done with them. They are an inconvenience to me. So that's a really hard thing about a dismissive avoidant person. Like they literally will dismiss you, dismiss your feelings. So one more thing about the dismissive avoidant person, they usually have very few close relationships. So, you know, I know we all like do that when we're in a relationship, right? Like we want to get to know our person and we want to find out like who are they close friends with, who do they care about. And that's usually kind of a red flag, right? Like if they don't talk about their friends, they don't talk about their family, you're kind of like, that's interesting. Well, that's very often this dismissive avoidant person because they don't have a lot of close relationships, usually because they've pushed everybody away. People haven't wanted to stick around when their feelings have been dismissed. That's kind of a sign of this. Not always. I'm not saying that if your significant other doesn't have friends, they are dismissive avoidant. That's not always true. The last attachment style we're going to talk about is fearful avoidant. So that is actually different than dismissive. There's definitely some different characteristics. They are both avoidant, as in the title, but they avoid in different ways. The fearful avoidant person, now this gets kind of tricky. They are fearful of being too close to you. Like they're not going to give you too much and get too close because they don't want to feel like they are depending on you. They don't want to feel like they need you. But on the other end of things, they're also worried of being too far from you. If they feel like you are being too distant from them, or like you're having too much independence and going out on your own a little bit, that's gonna actually freak them out. They don't want you too close, but they don't want you too far, which can be really, really confusing as a partner, especially if you are that anxious, preoccupied person. That's so confusing. this person is like, I want you, come close. But then when they start to feel like overwhelmed, or they feel like they're getting too dependent on you, they're like, no, you need to back up, go away. It's not anything you're doing, it's actually just what they're feeling. They're feeling like they're becoming too dependent on you, and they cannot have that happen. That is going to mess with their identity. It's a push-pull. They are pushing and pulling you back and forth. That can be so emotionally exhausting. This person's behaviors, especially in a relationship, can be super confusing. Just like I just talked about, we have that pushing and pulling situation going on. So if they're pushing you, pulling you back, like, they're not necessarily doing it on purpose. They're usually confused with their own emotions. They don't know how they're feeling. They don't know what they're supposed to feel. They can't really get it together. Their emotions can be super up and down, which can be so exhausting. So they're not really doing it on purpose, but that is just the only way that they know. And earlier I talked about with the other attachment styles, the secure has a positive view of themselves and also a positive view of others. The anxious preoccupied has a negative view of themselves and then a positive view of others. The dismissive avoidant has a positive view of who they are and a negative view of who other people are. Now with the fearful avoidant, they change, which kind of makes sense, right? Based on the other things that I've said, like, they don't really know. Sometimes they feel good about themselves, sometimes they feel bad. Sometimes they feel good about you, sometimes they feel bad. That is a really tricky person to be with. And just like all the other attachment styles, it doesn't mean that they don't deserve love. It doesn't mean that they don't want it. They just don't know how to show it, and they don't know how to get a healthy balance of not having this push-pull. So the fearful avoidant attachment style also, they usually don't have a lot of friends either. I'm sure it's for the same reason, that push-pull. Like, people get tired of it and they're like, yeah, we're done. I'm not going to do this anymore. And the fearful avoidant person, like, they know that they need love. They know that in order to find love, that they have to pursue it and that they have to put in work, but they don't always know how to go about that. And then once they start doing it, they don't really know how to deal with the relationship that's forming. So this person, they do desire intimacy, but they have ups and lows. So they might be cool with the cuddling and the showing affection one day, and then the next day, if they're feeling too overwhelmed with it, they might push it away. And these relationships can often end up abusive verbally, especially because they that push and pull thing, again, like I already talked about, they are going to really confuse people, and they could potentially make somebody feel really small or insecure with their feelings just because of the way that they're acting. So one last major thing about this person, which I kind of already talked about. So the fearful avoidant individual, they're gonna cling to your partner. Like, if they feel like you're drifting away from them, if they feel like you're gonna start talking to someone else, or that you're getting close with other people, they will actually cling to you. The unfortunate thing is that if your partner has been distant and then suddenly they're like, oh my God, I want you, I need you, I love you, then you're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm so glad that you love me. But then guess what? You get close and they're like, no, bad, get away. So that's a really hard spot to be in, and that's gonna require a lot of open communication, which this person might not be into. So there is something, if you could convince your partner to do it, or even just to do it for yourself. So I read this book. It's called Attached. It is by Amir Levine. Maybe I said that right. This book kind of breaks down these attachment styles in a very easy to understand way, and it gives examples of what the different relationships look like. It also has a little test in here that you could take with your partner. Now this one is kind of a broken down version, but you can get online. Literally, you can just go on Google and you can type in ECR. That stands for experiences in close relationships. So you can type that in. There's a little assessment that you can take. It seems really long, and it's a lot of those like agree, strongly agree, disagree. And when you take it, think about the relationship that you're currently in or your last relationship. It's kind of hard. Like, if you're single, you just kind of have to think about your past relationships, which knowing this information is also great if you're single. It can help you kind of know right away if you're going to be compatible with the person, and knowing your attachment style can help you learn about yourself in hopes of being able to have a strong relationship. And you can change your attachment style. It will take work, but if you can better understand yourself and you're willing to put in the work, then that's definitely possible. So hop on Google, type in ECR or experiences in close relationships, take the assessment, have your partner take the assessment, and then come back here to my channel, which you need to like this video and subscribe to, because I'm going to keep talking about these attachment styles, examples of what it might look like in a relationship and how you can improve it. So go figure out your attachment style, talk to your partner about it, talk to your friends about it, and come back here so that we can keep learning. See you guys next time. Bye. Don't forget, like and subscribe to my channel.